So today we're going to dive into a truly monumental work of Chan Buddhism, the Zongjing Lu, which translates to the record of the source mirror. And its whole purpose, really, is to get at one single massive question. What is the true nature of our own mind?
Right from the start, the ancient masters hit us with a puzzle. It's a real head-scratcher. They're talking about something fundamental, something that feels empty, but it's not. It seems to exist, but you can't really say it's an existent thing. You can sense it, but you just can't pin it down. And that leads to the ultimate question that's going to guide us through this whole thing. What on earth is this elusive reality they're talking about?
Well, the key to unlocking that whole puzzle lies in one single, incredibly powerful metaphor. The Zongjing Lu asks us to imagine our mind as this vast, perfect mirror, a mirror that reflects everything, the entire universe of our experience. And look, this isn't just some pretty, poetic image. It's actually a very precise tool for understanding what's going on.
In fact, the title of the text itself, Zongjing, gives the whole game away. Zong means the source, the fundamental principle, the main point. Jing means mirror. So the source mirror, that is the teaching. It's telling us that the most fundamental thing about reality is our own mind, and it functions just like a perfect, flawless mirror.
Okay, so if our mind is this perfect mirror, where do we keep messing up? Well, the problem starts with the reflections. We see all these images flickering across the mirror, our thoughts, our feelings, the world out there, and we make this one huge mistake. We totally forget we're looking at reflections, and we start believing they're the real deal.
You know, the text has this great story about the Six Patriarchs Assembly. There are 500 people there, and 499 of them, they could explain Buddhist philosophy inside and out. They knew about the path, they could analyze all the concepts, the reflections. But there was only one person, a layman, who directly realized the way. He wasn't just talking about the reflections, he actually saw the mirror itself. And guess who got the transmission? He did. It just goes to show you, this has nothing to do with being book smart.
There's this fantastic analogy in the text that just nails it. It compares us to a monkey who sees the moon's reflection in a pond, and the poor monkey thinks the reflection is the actual moon, so it dives in, trying to grab it, over and over and over again. And that's basically us, right? In our state of ignorance, we're just chasing these fleeting thoughts and sensations, totally exhausting ourselves for no reason.
So to put it simply, this state of being totally lost, completely absorbed in the never-ending movie of reflections, that's what Buddhism calls buju, or ignorance. And it's not about being dumb. It's just about being completely unaware of the mirror that's creating the whole show in the first place.
All right, so if getting lost in the reflections is the problem, what happens when we manage to look past them? What is the actual nature of the mirror itself? Okay, this is where our words start to break down a little, but let's give it a shot.
The text is super clear on this. When you try to describe the mirror's true nature, the normal roads of thinking and talking just end. It's a dead end. They can't get you there.
Our conceptual mind, the part of us that measures and analyzes everything, it just can't get a hold of this. It's like trying to use a tape measure to find the weight of the color blue. You're just using the wrong tool for the job.
And get this, even our highest, most brilliant intellectual wisdom falls short here. This reality isn't something you can figure out with your brain. It has to be directly seen, directly experienced. So what do we even call this thing that's beyond words? The texts give it a name, Zhenru, which is often translated as thusness or true suchness. This is the pure, stainless, radiant nature of the mirror itself. It's always there underneath all the chaos of the reflections. And here's the part that just blows your mind. This is called Benjua, or original enlightenment. It's not some goal we have to achieve, it's what we already are, fundamentally.
Okay, so how do we actually make this journey? How do we go from being that monkey splashing around in the water to finally recognizing the mirror that's been right here the whole time? Well, this is the path of awakening.
You can kind of map it out in 3 basic stages. First, we start with original enlightenment, our inherent perfect nature, the clean mirror. But then we fall into ignorance. We get completely hypnotized by the reflections, totally forgetting about the mirror. The big turning point is what's called initial enlightenment, Shiju. And this isn't some big, flashy explosion. It's the simple, direct recognition that the reflections, all our experiences, are not and never were separate from the mirror itself.
And right here, this is maybe the most profound point in the entire text. Shuzhu Jitong Benju. Initial enlightenment is the same thing as original enlightenment. What does that mean? It means awakening isn't about gaining some new superpower or becoming a different person. It's simply a homecoming. It's the moment you finally recognize the incredible treasure you've been carrying with you all along.
Now, this is all fascinating philosophy, right? But so what? Why does recognizing this source mirror actually matter in our day-to-day lives? What's the ultimate purpose of all this?
The text actually asks this very same question. It says, okay, we've established the Zong, the source, which is the mind mirror. Now what's the Qua? What's the ultimate point, the destination of this whole understanding?
And the answer is incredibly practical. This realization, it just cuts right through that deep-seated doubt we all have about ourselves and about reality. It gives rise to this unshakable faith, not in some god or dogma, but in our own intrinsic nature. And once you have that, correct understanding and a true spiritual practice just start to happen naturally. It's the path that leads to wisdom and real freedom. It literally changes everything.
So after this whole journey through these deep ideas, we end up exactly where we began, right here, with our own mind. The source mirror isn't some far-off concept from an ancient book. It is right here, right now, perfectly reflecting your experience of this very moment. So the only question left is for you. The mirror is here. What do you see?